Hello and welcome to another episode of K&K Real Talk. We are here today with Gordon, is it
Pedersen, yes.
Pedersen? Perfect. So before we get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
Well, I started into a world of wellness when my brother got Crohn's disease. And the doctor said, you know what, we've done all we can do. Unless you can find an alternative, he's going to either die early or suffer a whole lot. So our whole family went on this mission. And the mission was trying to get something that helped. So I went into the medical world. I became a doctor of anti-aging medicine. I also got a PhD in immunology. I got a PhD in naturopathic medicine. And I found that no one of those disciplines would solve all the problems in our family. And so I just continued learning and getting more and more and more disciplines in medicine because I realized no one branch of medicine has all the answers. And that's why I've gotten all the degrees I have, was to help my family.
Wow, that's a lot of schooling.
Yeah, but you know what? When it's your family, it doesn't seem like that. When it's fibromyalgia, when it's Crohn's disease, when it's problems that just don't seem to go away any other way, you do your very best.
I totally agree. I got into this for myself, researching endometriosis and how I could go like a more natural way because I was on narcotics and I was taking those every day, multiple times a day. And I found that it was starting to change my personality even.
Well, I can see why that happens. And I try to focus people when they talk to me, I try to focus them in an area where they can get help. But I always also realize that traditional medicine has some terrific tools for crisis management, but that naturopathic medicine seems to have most of the tools for prevention. And so I kind of divide the two up and use them together.
That's awesome. So what exactly got you into using silver and creating your silver products? I mean, you have a whole line. I've got a bunch of your products here. I've actually really been using the lozenges with what I've had now. I've had like a really bad cough and now I have a chest infection. So I've found that the lozenges have really helped kind of calm down the coughing, and it's been.
Well, when I was working on my toxicology PhD, I started in the laboratory testing substances to see what might or might not become a product that could destroy germs. I found silver. In the laboratory, I found that it destroyed bacteria and viruses and yeast and even some parasites. And I thought to myself, why don't we have any drugs that do all of those things? It dawned on me, silver's all natural, and it has the ability to destroy bacteria, viruses, and yeast, but we don't even have a drug that will do that. So what got me into that was a baby that had diaper rash, and silver would work on that diaper rash in an hour's time. And I thought, this is a miracle working product without side effects and with all these silver studies out there. I thought this is a great thing to study.
Yeah, I've actually found it really interesting. I have your books as well, and you can use it with pets. And there's just so many uses I didn't even know about.
Yeah, it's wonderful when something destroys bacteria, viruses, and yeast, and you realize, my gosh, that's about 85% of all the causes of all the diseases that we suffer from. And so if you can get things under control so that they don't escalate crises, silver can work terrific for your pets because liquid silver can be put in their water. Gel silver can be put on their paws or on a wound or anywhere on their body that has a problem like their rectum or their anus or their reproductive organs. And you realize that the silver liquid and gel are two of the greatest tools for the human body as well. We can swallow it 2 teaspoons twice a day. We can put gel on our hands, or In women's cases, they're using the silver gel intravaginally because it can destroy the bacterial problem, the viral problem, at the same time, the yeast problem.
And I do find that with endometriosis, I often get yeast infections because there's like a pH imbalance, and I actually find that's quite common, probably like once or twice a year, and I know that other women have that same problem. So like, how can silver specifically help endometriosis?
Well, if silver can come in contact with a germ and stay in contact with it for about 2 minutes, it's going to break down its membrane and destroy the bacteria, the virus, or the yeast. So oftentimes with endometriosis, since it's up inside the vaginal vault area, we can take a tampon, like I have my pen here, and if I soak that tampon in silver gel, inserted it at night, it can move around up in there for the 8 hours of sleep, take it out in the morning, and it didn't even disrupt any of your behavior. And we have women do that, 3 times, 4 times in a row, 4 nights in a row. And they've been able to get great results. And the whole trick is we've got to get the silver in contact with the problem. Now, endometriosis is inflammation. That's the enemy, inflammation. And it can be in and up and around in all that anatomy inside of a woman's vaginal vault area. And what that means is we can also drink liquid silver and put the liquid silver through the circulatory system. At the same time, we're using the silver gel to try to reach it from the other side. So it's a really terrific combination.
I mean, I would never even have thought that it had so many uses. It's insane. So,
well, it's common sense medicine is what it is, and it's because we took what is created for us and enhanced it. For instance, I took liquid silver and I made it alkaline because I wanted to be able to take it every single day. I wanted the African children I was working with to be able to take it every single day for protection. And so instead of a strong acid like all of the historical silvers have been, I made an alkaline silver made out of structured water. And because it's not acidic, it doesn't have the problems the other silvers have.
So could you use it as you're saying daily, so you could use it as a supplement rather than like a treatment as well?
It can be used for both. Yeah, it can be used for both.
Wow. I never knew there were so many uses. What made you think, hey, I'm going to try to use silver. I'm going to make structured water.
Well, I found 42 drugs in the physician's desk reference that were made from silver. And I thought to myself, wow, if it's already been proven to work as a drug and they use it in every burn unit in the world, I'm going to try to deliver it to people in a safer way, a more beneficial way, and a way that they can use it. So I've delivered and developed a liquid silver, a gel silver, lozenges so you can just suck on them all the time, a lotion, a silver lotion, a silver mouthwash, and I've even got these right here. These silver lozenges, I just can't believe how great these have been in cold and flu season because you get silver every time you're sucking on it. Silver gel is great because it can replace a hand sanitizer. And about 3 months ago, the FDA banned 28 of the 31 ingredients found in hand sanitizers because they were toxic and they didn't kill the germs they were supposed to kill, leaving harmful super germs. So silver in a gel form has now become the replacement choice.
So with silver, how do they use it in a burn unit? Like, what exactly does it do?
Well, the worst thing that can happen to a burn is it can get infected. That's a bacteria, a virus, or a yeast. So what happens is if a wound needs to close, that means the skin needs to come together and seal up all the outside environment. In the time that the wound is open, anything in the environment can infect that wound. Silver destroys the bacteria, viruses, and yeast, and it helps mobilize and activate stem cells that help in the healing process. So silver gives the wound the ability to heal without germs and mobilizes naturally occurring stem cells so you heal faster with half the scarring.
Wow, that's insane. So why isn't this in the pharmaceutical market?
Well, because the patent expired in 1924. So in the pharmaceutical world, they're all about, I've got a patent, this is my product, I'm the only one that can have it, I can mark the price up 5,000 times, and no one else can do it. Well, silver's patent expired so long ago that nobody wants to go in and make a silver that anybody else can go ahead and try to copy, or that they can't mark the price up so high that it's not as feasible. That's my opinion. And the other opinion is that silver works in so many areas that it's harder to market. And so when you realize silver destroys bacteria, viruses, yeast, it works in wounds, it works for cats and dogs, it works for women's use. It's got all these terrific cold and flu properties to help you in all these areas. Sometimes our pharmaceutical world only wants one claim on one drug.
I can totally understand that. So is there anything else that you'd like to add? What is your message that you want to send to people? How can we get this out to people with endometriosis? Well, this is important for endometriosis because for women in general, liquid silver can be swallowed. You can drink 4 ounces, safely drink 4 ounces, and it can go through your entire digestive tract and pool in your bladder. Now, when you put enough liquid silver in your bladder and realize silver doesn't change as it goes through your body, it now is going to pool in your bladder and destroy the germs in the bladder. That helps because you can do that 3 days in a row, and the germs from the bladder aren't going to be a problem infecting vaginally anymore. Number 2, the gel can be applied to the vaginal area, and that's where most of our germs come from to go up into the vaginal vault. Number 3, we don't always know what causes endometriosis. We know it's inflammation. We know it could be bacteria, viruses, or yeast, but oftentimes it could be an autoimmune attack, meaning your own cells are attacking your own immune cells are attacking your own healthy cells, causing inflammation and breaking down the tissue there, causing pain and dysfunction. Silver helps because of those stem cells. So if we can get the silver into that area, either through drinking it or through putting a gel in, you're going to have a great benefit. The trick is to reduce the inflammation, the cause of the inflammation, and silver can help with the liquid or the gel. So because silver is a metal, is there any risk of like heavy metal poisoning or anything like that?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Silver and gold are the 2 metals that are not listed as heavy metal toxicity in the Merck manual. That's the kind of the Bible for doctors to look at. So silver and gold are the 2 metals that don't accumulate. The others, like copper, like zinc, and others like that, they're going to have an accumulation process, while silver has the ability to be eliminated in this form. The EPA says it's going to leave the body by the next day. So it's not the accumulation problem that coppers and zinc and other metals have.
Well, I feel like I've learned so much just from this short conversation. So is there anything else that you would like people to know? Where can they reach you? Where can they see all your products, your books?
Well, know that this is unique silver. All the silvers for the past 150 years have been strong acids. Now, I've developed a silver that's alkaline. This is important because it works with the immune system, and you can take it every day for protection. I have a silver liquid, a gel, lozenges, mouthwash, and lotion. I also even have silver soaps, and I put lavender in them so they're non-toxic. Now, with that in mind, silver destroys bacteria, viruses, and yeast. And it can do it in 2 minutes if you're creative enough to put the liquid in your throat for 2 minutes and gargle it, or put gel on your toothbrush and brush for 2 minutes. It's a very important tool, and it can help you because the second you feel that little fever blister starting to bump up, the little bump starts to form. You know what? If you can take the silver gel and put it on there and keep that moist, you can actually stop the virus from ever rupturing or ever exposing and duplicating itself. So these are the kind of things that people can do. And we know that it can circulate through the body and help us be healthy as well. But I'm at mydoctorsuggests.com, and I'll spell that for you. mydoctorsuggests.com. mydoctorsuggests.com. I've got a tab on there for books. You can go through them, click on them. They'll even be sent to you digitally for free. In addition to that, I've got over 200 videos on education. So if you're interested in seeing my product as well, it's at mydoctorsuggest.com.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you so much for being on. Is there anything else that you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Oh, nope. I'm just really glad that after 4 degrees, I learned that the human body will heal itself if you give it the proper tools. This is my favorite tool.
And do you take silver daily yourself?
I do. I've even got the lozenge in my mouth right now.
And I will say the lozenges are my favorite.
Yeah, they're the first one people start out on, and once they realize they're getting a full dose in a lozenge that tastes good and can be sugar-free if you'd like, they're very, very happy to try all the rest as well.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being on. If you guys have any questions, we can get the doctor on again. If you have any suggestions for new episodes, leave me a comment or send me a DM. Thank you so much for watching another episode of K&K Real Talk, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.